Ever wonder how a vegetable that grows underground ends up as the smoothest spread in your kitchen? Here's the strange part. That jar in your pantry survived 2 tons of pressure. Under the right conditions, it could have become a diamond. And the man history credits with inventing it? He never patented a single jar. Let's dig in. Literally. Peanut butter looks simple. Peanuts, salt, maybe some oil. But here's the twist. Peanuts aren't nuts. They're legumes. Same family as peas, same family as lentils, same family as beans. So your peanut is basically a bean, cosplaying as a nut. And the way it grows is even stranger. The flower blooms above ground, like any normal plant. Then it gets weird. After it's pollinated, the flower sends a stalk downward. It's called a peg. That peg drives straight into the dirt. And the peanut actually forms underground, in total darkness. Scientists call this geocarpy. Basically, give birth underground and hope for the best. Humans have been digging up that birth for thousands of years. Peanuts didn't start in Georgia, or Alabama, or anywhere near a Jif factory. They started in South America. Archaeologists have found peanut remains in Peru, dating back over 7,000 years. 7,000. That's older than the pyramids. Spanish and Portuguese traders carried peanuts across the ocean to Africa and Asia. They thrived there. Then, centuries later, they crossed the Atlantic again, this time into North America, largely through the transatlantic slave trade, and took root across the American South. The peanut circled the entire planet before it ever touched a piece of toast. Which brings us to the myth, the one you've probably heard. That one man invented peanut butter.
Why?
You've heard the name, George Washington Carver. Here's the truth, he didn't invent peanut butter. He never claimed to. What he actually did might be more interesting. In the early 1900s, cotton was wrecking southern soil, and a tiny beetle called the boll weevil was wrecking cotton. Carver told farmers, plant peanuts instead. They restore nitrogen to the soil. They survive where cotton fails. He found over 300 potential uses for peanuts, dyes, soaps, even early plastics. Not all of them caught on. But the message did. Farmers switched. Peanuts saved southern agriculture. Old patent illustrations, sepia-toned World's Fair footage, and photos. So who actually invented peanut butter? Messier than a toddler with a spoon. In 1884, a Canadian chemist named Marcellus Edson patented a process for milling roasted peanuts into paste. In 1895, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, yes, that Kellogg, the cereal guy, patented his own version. He wanted a soft, protein-rich food for patients who struggled to chew meat. Then in 1904, a vendor sold peanut butter at the St. Louis World's Fair. People went nuts for it. Pun intended. No single inventor. Just a slow collision of chemists, cereal moguls, and one really good fair booth. Today, peanuts are farmed on a massive scale. The US alone grows billions of pounds a year, mostly across a stretch of the South nicknamed the Peanut Belt. Georgia, Alabama, Texas. Fun fact, one former US president used to run a peanut farm before he ran the country. Jimmy Carter, possibly the only man to list peanut farmer as a stepping stone to leader of the free world. Harvester machinery, pulling peanut plants, drying in windrows. Harvesting is oddly violent for such a gentle-looking crop. Machines rip the entire plant out of the ground, flip it upside down. Peanuts dry in the sun for a few days. Roots up, like the world's largest awkward group nap. Then a combine shakes the peanuts loose and they head to a processing plant. And this is where it gets genuinely fascinating, because somewhere in there, one jar of peanut butter is about to be built from roughly 540 individual peanuts. 540. In one jar. Let's watch it happen. Step 1. Cleaning. Peanuts get sorted and inspected. Machines are shockingly good at spotting a bad one. Step 2. Roasting. High heat somewhere around 300 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. This is where the flavor actually happens. Raw peanuts taste like not much. Roasting triggers a chemical reaction that creates hundreds of new flavor compounds. Step 3. Cooling and blanching. Hot air loosens the papery red skins. Machines blow them right off. A smaller piece called the germ, the peanut's embryo, gets removed too. Not because it's dangerous, Because it goes rancid fast, and nobody wants peanut butter that tastes like a gym sock in 6 weeks. Step 4. Grinding. The magic part. Peanuts get crushed through a mill. Coarse first, then fine. Here's the part that sounds fake, but isn't. The friction from grinding creates enough heat to melt the natural oil inside the peanut. A solid peanut becomes a warm, pourable liquid. In minutes, no extra oil needed. The peanut was carrying its own the whole time. For creamy, that's basically it, plus salt and a stabilizer to stop the oil separating. For crunchy, they fold chopped peanut bits back in at the end, like sprinkles for grown-ups. Then it's pumped hot, straight into jars, sealed, cooled, labeled, shipped. Somewhere between step 1 and step 4, 540 peanuts just became one jar on a shelf near you. That's the boring version. Here's where it gets genuinely unbelievable. Remember the diamond claim from the intro? It's real. Peanut butter is loaded with carbon, the same element that makes up diamonds. Scientists in Germany once took peanut butter and crushed it under extreme pressure and heat, mimicking conditions deep inside the Earth's mantle. The carbon inside rearranged itself into microscopic diamonds, real ones. Nobody's mining your Jif jar for jewelry. The diamonds were tiny, and the point was studying how carbon behaves under pressure, not starting a peanut butter gold rush. But technically, sitting in your pantry is one of the few foods on Earth that has, under lab conditions, become one of the hardest materials on Earth. A wild flex for something that also gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. Here's where peanut butter stops being funny for a second. In 1996, a French pediatric nutritionist named André Briand was trying to solve a brutal problem. Severe malnutrition in children in places with no clean water, no electricity, no refrigeration. Most treatments needed all three. Humanitarian aid footage, packets of RUTF paste. Keep respectful, not graphic. His solution: a paste made mostly of peanuts, milk powder, sugar, oil, and vitamins. No cooking required, no water required, no refrigeration required. It's called Plumpy Nut. Kids can eat it straight from the packet. Calorie-dense, shelf-stable, doesn't spoil in extreme heat. Aid organizations have used it to treat millions of children with severe acute malnutrition. A crop that started as a snack food became one of the most effective famine relief tools on the planet. Not bad for something people once argued wasn't even worth patenting. One more strange turn. For years, doctors told parents to keep peanuts away from babies. The logic: exposure equals risk. Then a major study in 2015 flipped that completely. Researchers found that early, safe exposure to peanut products in infancy actually lowered the risk of developing a peanut allergy. Not raised it, lowered it. Decades of parenting advice, reversed by one study. Peanut butter has been rewriting its own rulebook since the day it left the ground. So next time you open that jar, remember what's actually in your hand. A legume that grows in the dark. Domesticated 7,000 years ago. Fought over by chemists and cereal moguls. Compressed hard enough, once, to become a diamond. And repurposed to save the lives of starving children. Peanut butter isn't just a sandwich ingredient. It's proof that the most ordinary thing in your kitchen usually has the wildest story behind it.